And for our next story, we are shifting our focus to India, where a massive operation is underway to rescue 40 construction workers trapped in a tunnel after it collapsed. Over 50 hours have passed and now heavy machinery has been brought in to pull out the workers. So what really went wrong? Why did the tunnel collapse? Here's what we know so far.
In India's Uttarakhand, a race against time to save lives is underway. For 3 days, rescue workers have worked tirelessly to rescue 40 construction workers trapped in a tunnel after it collapsed. The road tunnel, which was under construction in the Himalayan state, collapsed early morning on November 12th. A section of the under construction tunnel from Silkyara to Dandalgaon collapsed, trapping the workers under the debris. A day later, they were able to establish contact with the workers, confirming they were all safe. Officials said contact had been made with the trapped workers using walkie-talkies. Funnels were inserted through the collapsed construction to get them oxygen and food packets.
We have been informed that everyone is safe inside the collapsed tunnel. We have given them supplies of chips, food and water, and everyone is safe.
By November 14th, excavators began drilling with heavy machinery to remove the debris and get to the trapped workers. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami, who inspected the scene on Monday, said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has promised all possible help for those trapped inside.
All the
trapped people are in good health. The technical team is assembling hume pipe to rescue trapped people. We are working hard to ensure they are safely evacuated. Everyone is healthy and we are providing them with food, water and oxygen.
The Silkyara Barkot tunnel, which was being built on the national highway, is part of a Hindu pilgrimage route, the Chardham all-weather road project, which is aimed at reducing the journey between Uttarkashi and Yamunotri by 26 kilometers. The rescue mission faces several other challenges. The continuous falling of loose debris from above has made the effort all the more difficult. Every minute counts. They are said to have only about 8 to 10 hours left before the oxygen in the tunnel runs out. According to medical experts, the limited oxygen supply and darkness will have adverse effects on the health of those trapped. Claustrophobia, hallucination. The longer they remain trapped, the more time it will take for them to recover from this trauma. But officials and rescue workers on the ground are working at fast pace. A daring new strategy has been drawn. It involves the use of an auger machine, which will be used to drill through the pile of debris and subsequently push 900 millimeters wide metal pipes to create a passage through the debris. A process that should be easy and not as complex as removing the debris itself. So what caused the collapse? According to initial reports, a landslide in the region triggered it. The region is prone to landslides, earthquakes and floods. The latest incident follows events of land subsidence. Geologists, residents and officials have blamed it on the rapid construction in the mountains. However, officials say that only an investigation could ascertain the exact reason for the collapse. The state government has formed a 6-member probe panel to investigate the incident. A team of geologists from the state government as well as educational institutions arrived to determine the cause. After the latest incident, the state government has assured it would examine work at all tunnels under construction to ensure that they are completed safely. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Let's now shift focus to Pakistan, where a curious thing is happening. Killers are getting killed mysteriously. You heard that right. Terrorists are getting killed in Pakistan by unidentified assailants. In fact, over the past few weeks, the latest victim is Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist Maulana Rahim Ullah Tariq. And this is big. Tariq was not only a key member of the terror group, he was also a close aide of Masood Azhar and was gunned down in Karachi. On the 13th of November, the Jaish terrorist was shot dead in Karachi's Orangi town. According to Pakistani media reports, Tariq was on his way to attend a religious gathering when unidentified men opened fire on him. The Pakistani police labelled it as a case of targeted killing, saying that the attackers approached Tariq and fired 3 shots at him. A mobile phone as well as other valuable items were recovered from him, along with bullet shells. Local media reports cited Tariq's family refuting accusations of enmity. Now, the thing is, this is not the first time this has happened in Pakistan. It follows a series of such incidents. In October, in a similar incident, Daud Malik was killed in Pakistan's North Waziristan. He also was a close associate of Masood Azhar, and he was also the founder of Lashkar-e-Jabbar. Then too, the police described his killing as a targeted attack. Malik was targeted by masked men at a private clinic, and the assailants managed to flee after the attack. Before that, Shahid Latif, one of India's most wanted terrorists and a key conspirator in the 2016 Pathankot terror attack, was shot dead by unknown gunmen in Pakistan's Sialkot. And then earlier this month, on the 7th of November to be specific, a key member of another terror group, LET or Lashkar-e-Toiba, Khwaja Shahid, was abducted and later found beheaded. Khwaja Shahid was also believed to be involved in the 2018 terrorist attack on the Indian Army camp in Jammu and Kashmir's Sunjwan. 3 days later, on the 10th of November, another LET recruiter and commander, Akram Khan Ghazi, was gunned down by bike-borne assailants. This was in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Pakistani law enforcement tried to point fingers at India, but the Pakistani news outlet said infighting within the factions led to his murder. His death reportedly sent shockwaves across the ranks of Pakistan's spy agency, the ISI. And even now, the circumstances around his abduction and killing remain unclear. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack. Isn't that strange? A terrorist is shot dead in broad daylight and the local law enforcement agencies do not know what's going on. Who is killing the terrorists in Pakistan? Are we to believe that the same establishment that aids and abets terrorists has no idea about who is attacking them? These incidents appear to follow a pattern, bearing a striking resemblance to each other. The killing of Jaish-e-Mohammad's Maulana Rahim Ullah Tariq is reportedly the 7th time that a terrorist most wanted in India has been gunned down in Pakistan. In total, there have been at least 19 such killings, 19 of them just this year. So who is behind these attacks? Who is conducting these hit jobs? Tariq's death has reportedly shocked the Pakistani law enforcement. They were quick to say that the death of a terrorist at the hands of unknown assailants was in itself an act of terrorism. Ironic, isn't it? Reports say infighting within the terror ranks led to the murder of Rahim Ullah Tariq. You see, the Pakistani establishment, which has turned the country into a safe haven for terrorists, seems to be reaping what it has sowed. I'm talking about its brazen support for terror groups in the country. And now the deaths of terrorists in just a matter of months have spooked the Pakistani deep state. Why, you ask? It's because they continue to pump millions of dollars into arming and supporting these terrorists. It's no surprise then that the Pakistani establishment is spooked. But what explains this? Internal divisions, rivalry? We don't have the answers to those questions at the moment. What we can say for sure is that there is a pattern, and we will be closely following this story for the latest developments. Heir of a teenager, one who is frantically cleaning up after a house party as their parents get back home. In this case, it's the world leaders who are coming in. US President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping are going to be meeting in person after a year. All eyes are on San Francisco, so it has to put on a good show. The cleanup drive is perfectly timed, and guess what? The Governor Gavin Newsom has owned up to it. Listen to it yourself.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true. But it's also true, for months and months and months prior to APEC, we've been having different conversations. And we've raised the bar of expectation between the city, the county, and the state, and our federal partners as well.
What do you make of all of this? San Francisco is infamous for its homelessness and drug problem. And all this while, the authorities could have done something about it. They could have cleaned up the streets, but they chose not to. And now they have guests coming in. They are trying hard to impress them. Widespread criticism has poured in for the Californian governor. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders tweeting, and I'm quoting, "The saddest part of this is that California's leaders are showing they could clean up their streets. They just choose not to." Former California State Senator Melissa Melendez also expressed disappointment on the platform X, earlier called Twitter. She wrote, and I'm quoting, "Governor Newsom orders homeless camps removed in San Francisco in an obvious attempt to impress his new best friend, China's communist dictator. A pity he's had no desire to impress those who actually live in California." San Francisco officials can race against time to clean their streets, but what will they do about the crime that plagues the city? What will they do about the gun menace thriving in the entire country? Unlike hiding homeless people, these deep-rooted issues cannot be fixed overnight before an international summit. There isn't any band-aid big enough to mask them. What happened to the Czech news crew is the latest example. The city of San Francisco may be getting a facelift, but its crime is not going anywhere.